Hi, I'm Savannah Jeter with Empowering Life with Savannah. Today, I have for you a guided meditation to help you work through grief. Make sure to find yourself an isolated place where you can be alone, where nobody can see or hear you, and maybe have some tools accessible to you to muffle your sounds of grief. A pillow, a blanket, something to help you. Make sure you to carve out at least between 10 and 20 minutes to do this guided meditation. Let's begin by finding yourself in a nice, comfortable position. You could be seated in a chair, sitting on the edge of the seat with your spine nice and straight, or you can lie on your back. Just find yourself nice and comfortable because, again, we will be here for a few minutes. Many of us suppress feelings of grief, despair, loneliness, and helplessness instead of allowing these emotions to come to the surface and express themselves. We do this because either the emotions hurt too much to feel at that particular time, or maybe we thought if we ignored them, they'd go away. Or, for most of us women, especially here in the South, where I'm from, we're taught as children that we're supposed to be strong, resilient, and take care of everyone else who's grieving while not letting others see your pain. Either because it makes us seem weak, or actually because having an emotional moment isn't ladylike, it's not proper, or even socially acceptable. We were made to feel like it would be embarrassing if we displayed emotions for everyone to see. So we're taught to suppress the emotion over and over until there's this hard knot in your belly that you want to let out, but you just can't. We end up being emotionally neutral. And this often makes us feel strong so that we can do what needs to be done and not let anything get away of our responsibilities. Unfortunately, what we don't realize when we're taught this is that even when we suppress these emotions, we're actually debilitating physiological functioning. There have even been some studies that have linked suppressed emotions to the development of cancer. And this is really not a surprise to me at all. I mean, you can see it in your mind's eye, this black knot of anger that we have in our gut, finally erupting like a volcano and then spreading out and creating disease in our body. Disease starts as a dis-ease. And if we don't take care of that dis-ease in our body, it eventually manifests into a disease. Emotional and physical well-being require being able to acknowledge all of our emotions, y'all, no matter what kind of emotions they are. Unfortunately, even the ones that make us feel like shit. So the following meditation can help you bring up suppressed emotions, and once you feel them, actually be able to release them. This particular meditation is really good for any emotion, but especially for grief and rage. Because rage, after all, is a part of grief, especially after losing a loved one. So again, take a few moments, get yourself nice and comfortable, lying down or seated, whatever feels better to you. Now close your eyes. Let's take a deep breath through your nose. Inhale through the nose. Now exhale really hard through the mouth, making a deep guttural sound. And again, inhale through the nose. And exhale gutturally. And again, one more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale really loud. Now let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose if that's available to you. Keeping your eyes closed. I want you to begin to think about the person or the situation where you need to allow some healing to happen. And I want you to let whatever emotion that needs to rise come to the surface. Even if you're currently in a good mood, make the conscious choice to let these deep feelings rise up from the pit of your belly where they've been pushed down. This may take a few moments or maybe even a few minutes. After a little bit, maybe it's shortly or maybe it's a few minutes, you're going to feel a welling up of emotion. Now, if this emotion has been suppressed for years, you may actually almost instinctually try to hold it in from habit. You may get that knot in your throat, maybe a heaviness in your chest. Maybe you'll have some difficulty swallowing. Continue to breathe and just kind of let the emotion surface. Visualize it in your mind, rising, rising, rising. And knowing it's okay to let them out. This is a safe place. You have created a safe container for these emotions to come out. Now, when the emotions do finally begin to surface, feel free to cry and wail loudly. I want you to scream and holler, even cuss like a sailor if you need to. Feel those emotions. Let them wash over you like waves of the ocean over and over and over again. Don't hold back. You're doing an emotional cleansing. Imagine that the grief or the rage that you're letting out is like you're releasing the pus from a wound that's festered. Because that's exactly what you're doing. It's a wound on the inside. Imagine all that grief and rage coming out of your body and being released back to Mother Earth. This experience will likely ebb and flow like the waves of the ocean. They may be really strong one moment and then soften. This is normal. Let those waves come and go. Taking the moments of calmness to continue to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth gently now. As you feel the grief, you may be surprised that you also feel anger. It's perfectly natural, especially if you're grieving the loss of a loved one. It's absolutely fine to be angry at them for feeling like they left you alone in this place when you needed them. Feel this anger. Let it come up. Don't try to stuff it down. It's okay. Let it out. Again, if this rage comes up, go ahead and scream and yell if you need to. Make sure that you do some physical releasing if you need to. Get up, get your body involved in the anger. Hit or punch the bed or a pillow, or lie on your back and kick and scream like a child. Flail about. Do whatever you need to do to let that shit out. If for some reason you can't find an isolated private place and you don't want others to hear, you can always cover your face with a pillow to muffle the screams. You can get in your car and go pull your car off on the side of the road somewhere. Close the windows and just scream your head off. This meditation shouldn't go on any longer than 10, 15, 20 minutes. But repeat it daily if you're in even if you're in a good mood. Take the time out for yourself to do this. When the grief and rage are fully out of your system, you'll sense a wonderful lightness and serenity. You'll be at peace with your loss and free of the rage.